Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. We are back for another Gamer Corner, episode 23.
23?
23, yes. We've been going strong. I'm both on Twitch and Kick, so welcome in Alvita. Welcome, King. Legend, I see you in the chat.
Yes, of course. I'm participating. Participating.
Queen, it shall be. I see you over on Kick. I appreciate you. Welcome in, welcome in. Make sure you guys are sharing out the stream. Love to everybody. So tonight we have with us the Queen of Indies herself. I have called her that. I don't think she calls herself that, but I did. Whatever.
It
Um,
works. It's cool. I'll take that title. I'll take it.
Legend of the Star. Are you okay with me calling you Legend? Like what? Because I'm
Yeah,
used to.
Legend of the Star. I mean,
Okay.
I think I've been going professionally now, and I've been using my first name on occasion.
Okay.
It's
That's
so
why I was
weird
like,
to
I'm
say
so used to
out, like,
calling you by your first name, and like I'm so used to calling everybody by their first name, and I'm like, oh
I
yeah, I guess.
know. I was meeting the St. Jude Play Live people because I was, I've been wanting to work with them and stuff, and I contacted them. I'm like, just do it, like bite the bullet, message them because I thought like maybe I could meet someone in person, and
Yeah.
I did, and it was crazy. It was fun, and I was like, oh, by the way, maybe I should tell you what my real name is, and she's like, that's fine. Like we all know everyone by their gamer tag, so it's like cool. I'm like, I just think it'd be weird. We meet up in the cafeteria, and you're just like Legend, and people are just like, like okay,
Okay. Sure.
whatever.
Yes. So Jill, Legend. I'll probably switch
You can
between
call
the
me
two.
Legend if it's more
Yeah.
comfortable for you. Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm more comfortable with Jill because I was like, wait. I was like, wait. Okay. So everybody, I have known Jill for 3 years
3 years, right? When you
now,
like put it
right?
like it's a long time. Yeah.
So this will be one of those interviews that'll probably definitely go off the rails since I've known her for so many years. And I prefer the interviews that go off the rails. Some of them stick kind of on script a little bit more than others. Others we just there's questions. What are those? But I hope you guys will enjoy this. Make sure you are following. Let me just do a shout out because my mods are all on vacay. Hey,
Mods, what are those?
what are those?
What are
Let me just
mods?
pin
What?
manually. There we go. I do like the pinning that you can do on Twitch to make life easier. So now
It does.
hit that link. Make sure you're showing a follow and showing love. Welcome in. Carry on. Carry on. Carry on. I always mess up that name. I'm sorry.
Dude, I know I'm saying his name wrong and I've known him for like a year. Like I
I
know it. I
always
know it. And he knows that I know that I know that he knows that I'm just like whatever. I just say it. Whatever.
yeah, just just bear with me when I totally destroy names, okay? Just bear with me, okay? Okay. Oh hold on, let me give Queen it shall be over here on kick quick shout out. Okay. My very simple bot over there that barely wakes. I know that you know that I know inside. Listen. So, Legend, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about your content. Well, tell everybody a little bit about your content. And how did you come up with your gamer tag? Like, where did Legend of the Star come from?
Oh, that is actually my email address. Like for real, since I was like young. Yeah, Legend Star at Yahoo. Like that's what it is. Like I am. It's weird. Sometimes I'm really good at thinking up names. Like King will be like, "Give me a name," and I'm like, Marcus Aurelius or something weird when he's playing like Final Fantasy or something or making a character. But I don't know. My brain works in mysterious ways. So off the cuff, it's hard. I was like, well, just keep it simple. So my favorite movie is Legends with Tom Cruise because like it was beautiful. So that's where the base of it comes from.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah. And then I remember having AOL and like Legends was taken, and I was like, forget it. And then I used to have one that was Mystic Starlight. That's my AOL email. That's my junk spam email. But Legend of Star just sounded better.
Yeah.
But my content, I focus solely on indie gaming across all platforms. I love it. I think it's so much fun. I think that indie games are really sort of undervocalized in the gaming industry, and it's kind of weird that we're separated in our own little category, like indies, when it's all gaming. And if it wasn't for indie games, you wouldn't have AAA games. And I
Totally.
feel that indie games are just more authentic, and I love being able to provide voice and visibility to do incredible, like fun stuff. So that's kind of where I did do the AAA gaming. Like I think I started playing Lara Croft and all that stuff. And when Thief was at its prime, I was one of the top streamers on Twitch playing Thief. And then I wasn't. And then I wasn't. And now I know, and these are just kind of like my life.
Yeah.
It's my
Welcome in, Crooklyn. I appreciate you for being here. Crooklyn-ology. That's a really cool name.
that
I
is that is a really cool name.
I like that. That's super cool. So, what is the weirdest indie game you've ever played? Like, I know you've gone through so many, and some of them have been wild, but what is the by far weirdest?
There is a game that we never speak of in I Dream of Indie ever again, and it is called Red Days, like Red Redemption Red Days, and it was the worst indie game I've ever played. I played bad games, like I played rough games, like super early access mechanics. You're like, what? But this game made absolutely no sense. Like I really didn't know what I was doing. You were just kind of like surviving in this like real weird 2D world, and zombies would come at you in waves, but you couldn't really get the resources, and you had to make like weird conversations with like weird people. And it was like I was like, why am no. I just stop, please.
Just,
Stop, please.
just
And
stop.
so I like every time he like brings up a survival game, I'm like, bro. If he's like Red Days has a sequel, I was like, I swear I will leave this place. I will never
Well,
come back
I
again.
mean, if it has a sequel, you kind of have to.
Oh no, I will not. I will not ever touch. I was like, what is I was so confused, and games confuse me easily, because I like to play them off the cuff. I don't do too much research into it. I like to give sort of my authentic, firsthand review of them.
Uh
And
huh.
sometimes like it'll take me like a little bit, and that's how the games are built, especially strategy games. They don't really give you a lot of information, just enough to sort of like help you possibly push the buttons, but it's really sort of you having to play over and over again to get sort of learn how to be able to play. Those can be a little annoying. Um, but it's so crazy how things just like work out and how they are.
Yeah. No, like, I still say play the sequel, but no. Okay.
Never, never. I will never play. I would never. I was like, how much did they pay us to play this game? Because it was sponsored, and we do like, so I was like, give them back their money and tell them to throw this game in
Yeah.
the trash. Like I was like, and I'm never like I'm never rude. I don't. I like to give constructive criticism because they're
Mhm.
indie need to, that's how they learn. That's how you play test. Really, that's sort of what streamers, content creators are. And I was like, yo, like, why did you give who? Is this one person? Two people? Like, who
Yeah.
were you
Like
guys
who
high? Like, what's happening?
who made
Like,
these
I've never.
decisions? Who made these
It
decisions?
was weird, and it could have been a really good concept too, because you're thinking, okay, total retro pixelated graphics and having to survive, and zombies are who doesn't love a good zombie game? you
Exactly.
know, Especially something that's just kind of point and click and you're having to survive. You've got sort of like that like RPG feel to it, but it was just like bad, and I was lost. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. So I just ended. I was like, yeah, I can't play this for like any more. So we just ended the stream, and I think we ended up switching it to like Slime Rendered. I was like, sorry.
Welcome in, Jace, Spazin. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Um, you're innocent until proven guilty, so I'm not going to weigh in on it because we don't know any information, so I can't really say. I'll just we need the information to come out right now. Right now, it's a bunch of like, speculations and what I know on Twitter, and Twitter lies. So I can't.
Twitter does lie. I love Twitter is so juicy sometimes. Like
It is. So like I don't want to go down like what so and so said on Twitter because like I don't know if that's real. So I don't want to. So as soon as we get the official whatever court and stuff and everything comes out and whatever, because all of a sudden people came out like, oh, I used to know him in the 70s. Or I used to know him in the 50s. He wasn't born yet. What do you mean? Like, it was just so many, like, stories that started coming out.
And then I was went to the party, like...
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Let me get off of here and let me just wait and see. Let the courts handle it, and then we'll go from there. And then I can be like, okay, here's actual... See, music knew him in the 40s. Before music and everybody was a thought. So, So, exactly. Okay, yeah, in the year of our zaddy, Pedro Pascal, who does listen, yes, I'm here for it. I am here for it. I think we have something's coming out on this week. Oh, Dead Island 2? No.
Yes!
That's what it was. Okay, I was like, something's coming out, like, literally Friday. I was like, but I couldn't think of it for a second.
Yes, that is. It looks so good. And I'm not, like, anti-AAA game, but it looks so good. I have, like, all of them. I need it so bad.
Listen, it's okay. You're not cheating on the indie world if you just pick up, like...
Yo, I feel so bad sometimes. Like, I streamed Delora because I was, like, in my mood where I was like, whatever, I'm streaming whatever I want, right?
Yeah.
Because you can. It's my work. It's my job. Do what I want. It's my channel.
Yeah.
I was playing Lara Croft. Dude, it was so much fun, except no one was watching me, right? And I did, like, this awesome, like... Dude, I'm not good at, like... shooters. That's not my forte at all. And I was, like, pew, pew, pewing. And I was like, damn. Like, I... people saw that, like, that would have been awesome.
Listen, clip it, put it on TikTok. They would watch it.
Witnesses. I need witnesses.
Yeah.
Star Wars is too. Yeah, Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Equal to it, right?
Yeah, I never got into the Star Wars games like that. So, like, I'll watch other people play. And I love Star Wars. But, like, that's not I never got into them. The game I'm looking forward to is The Expanse. That's I think it's one of those like Telltale games, I believe.
Yes.
I love the show. I thought about continuing reading the book so I could see what happens next. But I think it jumps into the future or something like that, and I was like, yeah, never mind. If it doesn't stay with my same characters, I'm okay. But when I saw that they announced the game, and I was here for it.
That was such a good series. It was such a good series. I loved it so much.
Bunny Gang, hey! I'm just saying.
Hi!
I see y'all dropping things. I'm saying, like, you could have a Legend of the Star Bunny. You could have a Fangirl Bunny. I'm just saying.
Indie gamings.
Yeah, like a little indie bunny. I'm just saying. Without saying, but I'm saying.
Like, girl.
I'm saying.
Cool. Gas me up. I'm okay with this.
It could be a cute little bunny, with a little star on it, and then like a, like an old school controller. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be real cute.
An old school controller would be like the Nintendo.
No, like the joystick type of controller.
The joystick, the Atari. An Atari joystick is actually the same price as it is a regular Xbox controller, and they have this collection of games that they're coming out where you can actually like play. They even make their own controller, and it works with all of their Atari games. See? It's like the coolest thing, and it looks nice. It's like slick. I was like, oh, okay.
Thank you, Jay, for the raid. I appreciate that. So wait, I'm missing chat. Hold on. Let's see. Shamelessly harassing Bunny Gang. Expanse was so good. I was mad they got rid of the pilot. Oh yeah. No, the show was 3-4 seasons. The show ended. And it has
Yeah, the
like a
show's
series
done.
finale. It's done.
Yeah.
So if you're behind, you can definitely check it out.
You can catch up for it. I think they
Yeah.
have it like they still play it like on the Sci-Fi Channel and
Yeah. I
does
think
the
it's
Sci-Fi Channel even exist anymore? But it is. I think it was on Netflix for a little
Prime
while.
or Netflix Prime, one of
Yeah,
them.
Prime.
Prime.
Yes, it is Prime.
I mean, everybody has Amazon Prime, so that's easy.
Yeah.
Had to get rid of Alex. Oh yeah. That's oh, I remember. Okay, yeah. No, I remember. Yes. I remember. I remember the 6 seasons. It's on Prime.
And they were like shirtless half the time. It was nice.
It was nice. It was nice. It was.
It was nice.
It was it was a nice eye candy, depending on
It
whatever
was.
kind
It
you
was a
liked.
good show.
The eye
Yeah.
candy was there for you. I thoroughly.
I'm
enjoyed
sad about Defiance, to be honest. Like they could have really gone far with that series. I loved it so much. I hardcore played. Oh my gosh. King and I, we would gather our friends and we would play Defiance. And it was like the same thing over and over, but I have emotes that are
it.
Defiance related. I was like, let's play this game. Like it's so cool. And then I would like resonate with it because I'm like, yo, I remember that episode. And I was like, I loved it so much. But it's one of those like, shooters that well, I don't even know if it really exists anymore. Dude, I work for Tron. I was one of their content creators. I was hard into the Defiance, man.
You're full on.
I was full on, yeah.
I
I have a
appreciate
Hellbook
that.
emote. I'm never getting rid of that because it's the only one on Twitch. So proud of it.
Okay. So, what first got you into streaming and content creating?
I was on my Xbox and I had a Connect, and I realized you could stream on Twitch. That's kind of like how it started. It wasn't really any rhyme or reason. I just sort of accidentally found it, and I streamed through my Xbox solely through the Connect for a very long time.
Okay.
A very, very long time. And then it's funny because like if you look back on some old VODs, you can see like the progression of like how my room, like first I'd be in the back and then I'd slowly move myself forward and I would have like this long ass, and then I eventually got like the 17-inch MSI laptop, which just died like a few years ago, like just earlier this year. It was like making this weird noise, like it's on its last leg. But I'm gonna try to see if I can get it fixed. But I would stream on that and have this really long HDMI cord that I'd connect to my TV, and I use that as like my second screen.
Listen.
I went to the things you do when you first start. Like these kids today, they don't understand the struggles.
Nope.
That
This music, I appreciate that. Xbox representation in the building, yes, love to see it. But yes, that progression of how we all started, and that's why I need to actually go back through like my content because like those old clips from like the beginning, I'm like, ooh, like it when people give you a shout out and the clips come up, be like, oh, that that needs to go. Like,
I remember I was playing this puzzle game and people were like yelling because I'm not good at puzzle games. I'm horrible at them. Like I'll test them out, but I'm not good at all. And I could feel just people yelling at me in the chat. I had so many people like just telling like, no, you gotta sing, and my camera was like all messed up and like the Connect was like acting all funny, and of course that's what people remember.
Of course. That's
They're just like whatever, bro.
No, they're gonna remember that stuff.
Beat the game, whatever.
Because that makes perfect sense. Like but I love puzzle games. I'm a dork though.
Puzzle games they're hard. They're hard. There's this new point and click game coming out actually that's developed by a woman-led studio in Germany, and it's called Finding Hannah. And it's one of those seek and finds, but it's also a narrative story about a woman going through a midlife crisis.
All right, we'll send it my way because I'm always.
I will. It's cute. I was looking at the graphics. I was like,
I love point and click. Like that's where I started. Like on this computer from 1910 with was it Windows 3.1 for work group. Like
yo, right? Like
not even 95, like Windows 3.1. Like
modem when it made that sound, when you had to like listen to the connection for the internet, like you knew. Yeah, you don't know these days. Like it's a struggle.
My mom would buy me the little disc, and I would be pointing and clicking. What was my first point and click? Don't even ask me that. Like there was like definitely weird indie whatever random things my mom would find at Walmart for me to play, because that's what I was into. Um, and then then we stumbled across like Myst and things like that. It was like more point and clicking. I'm like, yes.
Point and click games, people have
I,
like, dude, people pass them, and they really should. Some point and click games are very, very good, very well made, great
mm-hmm,
storyline, like character progressive.
exactly.
People miss out on point and clicks because it's more than, it's like, it's how you advance through the story and the actions. And it's funny because sometimes with point and click games you can't move into the next scene unless you figure, and you're just like, I found everything, what's going on, what's happening, and the game's like, no you didn't.
No, you
And so you're
didn't.
hovering your mouse over every spot trying to see like what the fuck's gonna highlight. Did
Yeah,
I
no,
miss
it
what's
definitely takes. You have to be well trained in that. You know,
happening?
it's like the modern kids playing retro games and getting mad and not
Hmm.
understanding. Like, no, it's very intuitive, and you're supposed to just
Hmm.
kind of know what to do. And if you don't, you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna get mad, and you're gonna throw it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've gotten pretty feisty, and you're just like, girl, it's point and click. And I've adapted to like this X Pen, so it's been really cool to use for some indie game. For some games it actually does pretty work. And even with that I'm just like,
Wait,
point and click baby all the way, like where's it going? Because I
where's?
figure like, cuz the fine tip, right, should be able
Mm-hmm.
to get into some deep corner of a game. Like sometimes you're just like, why?
Why?
But
Why?
it's great, and you just need to take a break and then come back to it and then you're good.
Exactly. The point and click Fatty Bear's birthday surprise was a key part of my childhood. Oh my gosh. Wow.
That's hardcore.
Listen, I also like that the pinball games, the Space Cadets.
Yes.
I've always loved pinball games. No matter what system I have, I will always buy the pinball games. Like, there is a pinball game on every system in my house, including the Oculus.
Really?
I am a
That's cool.
I
So do
am
you
a
go to like those pinball, like those bars, those gaming bars that have like all the pinballs?
yes, I go to the pinball museum. We have a
Oh, do
pinball
you really?
museum,
I
and
just saw
like
that on Instagram. Yeah.
it is like a whole like
Is it? Is it
all
a
these
whole vibe?
pinballs, and I'm like, yes. And like, I can't move on until I get the multi ball. Like, if once I get a multi ball on the table, I can move on to another table. Like, I don't have to get a high score. I just need to get the multi ball. Like, that is my.
That's your trigger.
That's how I felt like I beat the game, or I beat
Then you're
the
like, okay, we go.
paintball machine. And then like
That's funny.
I follow, what's her name? Reby Hardy. She's married to Matt Hardy, the wrestler, on
Mm-mm.
TikTok, and she like designs pinball machines. I'm like, oh my
Does she
god,
really?
I
That's
wish.
cool.
Okay. I'm like, we're see, like, what did I tell you guys? We're gonna go off the rails. Yeah, see, you remember Space Cadet? Who doesn't? Like, and then there was like the Alien one. There were other ones, but Space Cadet was the best one. Like, I'm always gonna be a pinball girl, whether it's on a system or in like real life or going. I always grew up going to the local pizza shop because I'm Jersey. It's if half the state, no, 75% of the state is Italian. Whatever. Jersey Shore is real. Okay, and
It does
it's
exist.
it does exist, and there's a an Italian restaurant on every corner practically. So I grew up going to the pizza shops, and they always had pinball machines. That's what we did. So with that in mind, as we've gone back down memory lane, excuse me, what is your first memory of gaming?
My first memory of gaming, honestly, is just being I never really had my own game system. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would always visit my aunt's house and I'd babysit my two little cousins and they would happen to have one because that was like what you gave boys, right? Was a gaming system. For presents and shit. And so when I would watch them, that's really when I started. And then as the boys got older, um we would have like our own gaming system. So I used to have like the really old like Nintendo. I used to have that and I used to have all the games
Mm-hmm.
and all that, but it was really just sort of like family time for us, just being able to play and kind of hang out. So that would be my most earliest.
Okay. What was there a particular like game that you enjoyed playing back then?
No, no, it really wasn't. Like they have all the basics, like the Mario Kart. They're highly competitive, so they'd have like the Madden, they'd have the golfing, they'd have all the Mario Karts. My mom got my little cousin Dance Dance Revolution, like with the pad, and he would go
Yes,
ham. He would go so hard, the
I
pad
love
would
it.
move, and we'd have to like scoot it up, so that he could. And he'd be so serious and like so really into it. It was hilarious. It really was. And then like my mom would start buying systems so that the boys would have something to play when they came over. And then we all started playing. So my mom would actually be sitting and she bought a Super Nintendo. She found one and she would play. I I would like leave and I'd come home and she'd be playing like old school Zelda or like Super Mario
Love
Brothers.
it.
And she's like, what are you doing?
I know. Like, listen, I love moms that game. Like, everybody knows Mama Fangirl. She's
Hmm,
everywhere.
hmm.
You know, she's everywhere. And
Oh yeah.
so, she's right now. We just bought her a PlayStation 5 in October for her birthday, and now
Oh,
she's
that's
like
cool.
angling for a Switch. And I'm like, really,
Is she now? Is
really, mom,
she?
really? And then
I my girls have the Switch Lite and they like it. And it's been really convenient for us to have like
with
for obviously now
traveling.
like since we have to travel for St. Jude and stuff, but it's been really fun for her to have. I just don't see us having like a Switch. For me, I just think the handheld would be better. Like honestly, my household probably benefit from a Stream Deck, but those are still so finicky that and a lot of it indie games don't work
Oh, really? On the Stream Deck,
on the Stream Deck, yeah, which
Steam
is
Deck,
fun. Like
Steam Deck.
it'll say that it's compatible on the stream page, but then when you really dive deep into it, they'll have like some mechanical errors, but just that is enough to really annoy you if they don't fix it. And I know that the item of any community talks a lot about like for the Switch specifically how sometimes like the indie games aren't rendered properly, so it can be a lot of lag when you play it. Not a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
but some that do like get released too quickly, I think, because they just want to be able to like fit into that that handheld mold. They want people to be able to take their game everywhere, and
Yeah.
um, so then
No.
that can be a little bad. Yeah,
Yeah, that would annoy me
yeah,
if
indies
I
don't
get
really do
it.
well for like handheld phones. Yes, phones, yes. Like I've been obsessed with Good Pizza Great Pizza, played all the time. Like it's amazing.
That
It's the
is
funniest game. I
when
have the Valentine's Day like topping skins, and then like right now, I think the Easter thing is over, but I grabbed some Easter stuff before. I have it on my phone. My daughter and I will sometimes like it's so awesome in the waiting room, and it's weird though because I'll have earbuds and I'm playing like my pizza game, and it's like slap, 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 slap on the thing. So like it's just like like it's a little weird, and we'll take turns because you know how it is in like the hospitals and stuff. You're in one waiting room, and then you go basically into the next one, and so we'll
yeah.
like pass the phone off to one another and stuff. It's funny. She has it on her phone now, and I have it on Steam. It's free on mobile, but you do have to pay like $10, I think, for it on Steam, and that's where you get like all the skins and stuff. But it is
Yeah,
so
I
much
have
fun to
it.
play, and it's got a great storyline to it too, and like little quests and stuff. It's neat.
Yeah, I have it on PC, and I definitely have played it a number of times. Just
Yo,
because
as
I've
a Valentine topping, as a Halloween toppings, I was like kind of planning on getting the leprechaun ones because like the basil, right, looks like little shamrocks, which is
oh,
adorable
that
because
is
the holiday one, the pineapples look like little bow ties and like the bell peppers are I like it's so I'm so obsessed with this game. Like our little Christmas trees and
yeah.
um yeah, the PC, like that's all I get are just the skins. That's the
When
only thing
the
I'm looking for.
when the homeless man let out the bears, I was hollering because I was like,
I
wait, what happened? Hold on, it like took me a second for
He
it to
said
like
those
click.
things.
I was like, what?
All for yeah, they liked him though because of the pizza, and then he started working with them, and then he was training them, and they opened up their own business. Yeah, dude, that was crazy. They had the doll, and then they like it all sold out, and then they re-released the doll like last month, and it sold out again. But I always fed that man, always. I was like, whatever you want,
Yeah,
and I would like practice my pizzas on him, especially like having to tie because if you don't have I have the cheat now. I have like the topping thing because I would just
yes,
slap and stuff, and if you don't really make it like perfect, they get a little mad at
yeah,
you.
they do. They don't tip you
And
well.
so with him, I would like practice and stuff, like what like certain pizzas. It's and the quests were a little hard. Like one I had to Google because I was like, I don't know if he's you want to make. Like, I understand the question.
Like, what are we saying here? What are we
Yeah,
talking
and then
about?
they're like, vegetarian, and it's, but I didn't want the mushroom. It's like, but then mushroom's a vegetable, but it's also a fungus. So the game will like really trick you up. It's weird.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like they'll say something. I'll be like, wait, what do you want? Hold on. What does that even mean?
Right? And then I was just like, yo, you are tripping because I know for a fact I know for a fact I made the pizza the way that you want me to. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
They're yeah. But it's definitely a great game. I highly recommend it for people.
Hmm.
I just love all like cooking serving games. That just goes back to my playing Diner Dash on like my phone and stuff. Like
Yeah, you did. Yeah, people don't realize that there are other mobile games that are just great for your phone and not just like the Candy Crush type games. Like the Don't Starve is on mobile. There's Endless.
mm-hmm.
Extinction is Forever is an indie game on PC. It's also on Xbox, I believe, and on PlayStation. I think on the Switch too. But they just released their mobile game a little while ago. I don't know if it's free to play or not. I know Don't Starve is not free to play. You can't play with friends with the Don't Starve one. But with the Endless, I'm excited to see how that plays out on mobile because the game is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad and it like talks about real life, environmental issues, but it's beautiful and very well made.
Yes. Yes, Queen. We were talking about Diner Dash. I think of a lot of us of a certain age, really are very nostalgic of Diner Dash. It was definitely a great game, and
It
every
really
once in a
was.
while, I'll definitely dust it off and play it. Like
Do you
what?
really?
I
Do you really?
still,
It's like I have nostalgia
yeah,
feels.
like I definitely dust off some of the older games. Um, let's see, let's see. What is the funniest moment that happened while streaming or content creation?
Oh, there's been a lot. Because I'm just doofy. I'm just like whatever. Like, I don't know. My reactions I think are different than most people's because I'm just like, what? Like what's happening here? One funny moment was that I was playing Case Animatronics. I don't remember why. I don't remember why. I don't remember if it was because of like some charity goal or something, but there was because I don't think I would have just chosen to play that game. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a rhyme or reason for it, but that game is so scary. My daughters were hanging out with me in the room, and it was really dark. And I think like, were you sleeping? You were. She was. My youngest was dead asleep, and my teenager was just vibing on the couch. And there's this one part where the thing like you're this police. It's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy. You've got this little
Okay.
tablet, and you're in a police station, and something scary happens. Like there's some guy from your past who's trying to kill you, and he made like this animatronic bear to like chase you down. And all of a sudden the lights go out, everyone's missing, and so you're like holding up the tablet, and you're like looking, and curious me, here's this banging on the thing. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go check it out, and bear comes running. I'm
No.
screaming
No.
so loud, and this is late at night. My dad's got to work the next day. She's passed out on the couch. The teenager's like, what is happening? Headphones on. I was like dead. I was crying. I was laughing so hard. I was like crying, tears running down my face, and I never touched that game ever again.
Oh my gosh.
Never.
Listen.
I don't like those games where you have to run and you have to hide and stuff very quick. Like with Dead by Daylight, that's a little different. But when it's like dark atmosphere and homicidal killers like chasing you, like that's
Yes.
it. Those type of horror games, those indie games, and not like the Dead by Daylight stuff, obviously, like not the phasmophobia thing, but just that panics because you can hear them. It's super scary. Like Fran Bow even freaks me out, and that thing's point and click. You're just out of nowhere. Here comes this demon, just whatever, popping to you in the face. Like those things
Mm-hmm.
are frightening. People don't like horror indie games are absolutely amazing. Devour is a really good one too. That freaks me out. The case animatronics, I've never touched it since. Like it's way too scary. I can't hide. I had to do a review of Backrooms 1998 where the game actually picks up on your
Oh
voice because
no.
the monster has super sensitive hearing. It's blind, but it can hear everything, and so you've got to like dude, and Joe comes in the chat talking crap about Vix, and I'm Filipino. Like Vix works for everything, and he was making these side comments, and I was getting heated, but I was trying not to yell Vicks, Monster was close by, and and I am like fuming, and he's like, and I know he's trolling me, but I'm triggered at this point. I'm trying to be quiet because I can see the little thing on the microphone go up a little bit. I'm just like, okay, guys, Joe, if you don't shut up, right, Joe, stop it. Vicks is amazing. You gotta like, why are you talking? Don't put it in your eyes. I swear, if you start like talking trash, I was mad, and I'm like trying to be quiet and like whispering. That was awful. That was the worst experience I've ever had. It was
Not him
horrible.
coming after Vix. That's messed up.
He came after Vicks like that heals everything. It opens up your lungs. If you put it on your feet with socks on, like it helps to, cleanse. Like Vicks works for
Yes,
everything. It really does. If you need
it
to
does.
breathe, and it's this stuff in the jar that none of that stick free. Like you really got to get your hand. Like,
Now
is
you
it
have
really
to
Vicks
put.
if
No,
your
you
hands
gotta.
aren't greasy? Like is it really Vicks? If it's not, it's all that fake stuff. You have to rub it. I get the Vicks like vapor things, and then the whole room smells like it. You cannot. It makes you feel so much better because you can breathe.
Because you can breathe. Exactly.
You can breathe, and
There's.
it like burn. It doesn't burn like your wuss. Like it doesn't burn.
It burns. What if
Nothing.
you rub it directly in your eyeball?
If you
Like, what are
rub
you
it in your
doing?
nose, but see, that's what we do though as
Well, yeah,
Filipinos.
yeah.
Like
You
there
rub it
is
in your
you take
nose.
the Q-tip and you rub it like inside. Not everyone does that, but it's good. My mom
Yeah.
has the inhaler. She has the inhaler. She buys to this in her pocket. Oh, randomly in the house. That's it.
No, I
All the
wouldn't
time.
rub it in my nose, but I'll put it like right here. Like I'll put it on my nose, right on the
I love it. And then
outside.
it gets like the tingly. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Front, back. Oh yeah. None of that like Vicks with lemon, Vicks with lavender. No,
No,
you gotta
no,
get
just
like
a
the really
regular,
dark green. Oh
the,
yeah.
the dark bottle.
Oh
That's it.
yeah. That's
Like
the good.
I always have Vicks. Like there's Vicks right now, like in my house, like always.
I love the smell so much. She's got this weird like hand balm that she's been putting on every once in a while, and it just makes the whole office smell like Vicks.
Do okay. Well, then let's talk about how we have a slight addiction to Vicks. Apparently, maybe that's it.
That would explain a lot, to be fair. That
Cause
would.
yeah. Is there anything like any games coming out that you're looking forward to?
Finding Hannah is definitely a really good one. I've noticed lately since I've been back to streaming, this seems to be the month of like city builder games and time management sims to be. I feel like I've played nothing but those types of games lately. Like there's this one game called Necro City where you had to sort of like build up these characters and then use them for resources. Like resource management sims has been the vibe. And
Mm.
there's one game that I played called Movie House. It's actually recently just came out. Cardboard Town was really cute too. And those are more like that game has sort of like a tabletop feel to it, but it's got beautifully like emulated like 3D hand drawn
Oh
graphics and
wow.
just the it was just the cutest game I've ever played. And I'm not usually big on those games at all. But I never like to judge a genre because there's always games within that genre that can be really good,
Mm-hmm.
and really innovative and really like just story driven. So I really like I yeah, I have a book where I keep track of all of the games that I've like ever played. Like I have like this huge like notebook, and I have the new one. But Good Pizza, Great Pizza definitely has been my absolute favorite game to play so far. But I did like Hands and Necromancy. That was good. And oh, Honey, I joined a cult. I like that game. That's also sort of like a time management, resource management game, but you're like the leader of a cult and you're trying to get people to join your cult. And there's like three different levels that you can do. You can either like, be like what is it like bring about the apocalypse, or you guys can like have be hippies, right, and like try
Okay.
to make a world of love. And it's cute too because like they'll have like these little love scenes and they look like the characters from that, what is that cartoon, that Cyanide.
Oh,
They're kind of,
Cyanide and Happiness.
yeah, they're kind of drawn like that, but you have sort of like this top view of it, and when they're like doing like the love, everything's all pixelated because by that time everyone's nude. You can have everyone be naked, or you could build a spaceship, but you have to like recruit so many followers, and then you have to either sacrifice them to hell to like get more quota up,
Mm-hmm.
or like juice them in this thing, and that's been, I think that game recently has been Sons of the Forest.
I love how like
I played that at St. Jude, which may not have been like my smartest move. But then I was thinking to myself, like, the thing about St. Jude is, depending on what you're there for and how long your stay may be, they have different sort of housing groups, right?
mhm.
And they have this one place that kind of looks like a hotel. It's actually really nice. I have pictures of it that I'm going to be uploading soon. But their room basically looks like a hotel room, and it's sort of like an outpatient thing. St. Jude tries to keep things as outpatient as possible unless you're actually receiving treatment or having surgery or
Okay,
something like that. Like they don't
that
want
makes
you to
sense.
feel like you're in the hospital the entire time.
Mhm.
And when you are in the hospital though, like they've got some cool shit, let me tell you. Like some secrets are really cool. Um and my daughter wasn't feeling well, so I had finally like tucked her into like her little hotel bed, and I had her laptop, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm gonna play some Sons of the Forest while I was swimming. If we're doing the caves, right? Have you started playing it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So we were doing one of the caves, right? And we're like swimming, and we come up, and there's like one of those cave things stared at me, and I screamed, and then I'm like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. And there are certain times where you get bombarded, right? Depending on like the mode, you're getting bombarded by cannibals, and they're coming at you because they're just like all on fours, like crawling. And
Yeah.
I was laughing so because I was like, oh maybe. But then like some little kid was screaming in the hallway, and I'm like, all right, I'm saved. Like they're not
Yeah,
going to
they're
think
not
anything.
gonna
There's
think
other kids and
anything. They still
families here, right? Like you're not gonna notice this because I'm playing a scary game. I was like, maybe this not like my best game, but that's been a really good stress reliever for me recently. Honestly, is playing those the first. I'm not really big on those games either. Playing it with friends make it really nice.
mhm.
Sometimes King of the Hatch like totally freaking annoys me, but he was crying about climbing a rope the other day. I was like, oh my god, just climb! He rage quit. I'm in a cave too, by the way. Thank God I'm in a really good save point. And he just rage quit. I'm just like, you left me here.
What?
Like, because you couldn't climb. He's probably like laughing about this now, but I'm like, because you couldn't climb a rope. It's like, well, there's things there, just me, because I can't go down. Because every time I try to go down, there's this one creepy one that like glows and sings. It's bizarre, and I always have surround sound on my headphones, so that always freaks me out.
Mhm.
And I was trying to save him, but I would die in the process. But luckily, like my save thing was like above, and that's all because you couldn't climb up the rope. I'm like, just look up, just run and look up. That's all you have to do and hit E. Finally, but it was like a good hour and a half, and he was
Mhm.
so mad. I was like, dude, you can't leave me in this cave system by myself. Like that's uncalled for. Not in this game. We're not in peaceful mode. And then he's like, what happens if we do peaceful mode just to go through the cave? And then I'm like, no, that doesn't even make sense. Like, you can't change modes in the game. I'm like, all because he couldn't climb a rope. It's so funny. I was like, really? You left me here. Really.
See
But
that?
then one time I was on the phone with Neffy because she was calling it to check on me while I was over there. And we have this tree house down by the beach, and he was just being bombarded. There's this one that is it's just and long, and it looks like a giant hot dog, and it just kind of flips and like tries to eat you. And then you had like the big burly guys with the mask. He says he's seen like their thing. I haven't, not that I'm looking, but he's like, oh, there's like these things like look. I thought I saw one once, but it was just some dude in like a an intestine belt that was hanging down too low. So I was like, yeah, I
Mm,
walked up close to it. I was like, is that what I think it is? But it wasn't.
no. See,
But I was on the phone with Neffy the whole time, and he's like being surrounded by these cannibals. They're trying to break into the cabin and all this stuff, and I'm just like on the phone, like I should probably be helping.
like, listen, survive, okay? I'm on the phone right now.
I'm like,
You'll
I
be all
probably should be
right.
helping him. Like I could hear him through my headphones, and I'm just in the cabin, just like whatever. He's down there trying to fight them and doing the arrows. It's so funny.
Well, listen, he'll be
I
all
was like,
right.
phone calls are important. It was
Exactly.
Neffy. I had to answer.
See, so like, whatever. He was fine.
Yeah, I don't know
If
why I
he
like
wasn't
it so much.
surrounded by
I know
cannibals in real life, so like, you're good.
Yo, right?
Like, think about like how well would we do if like a cannibal zombie esque apocalypse was to break out right now?
Oh, no, I would not survive. I mean, I could probably like maybe for like the first 60 days, but if I have to go out and like forage for food, I could probably use what I've learned for video games, but that doesn't seem
Yeah.
logical. Like you've got to start like honestly, if you really want to prepare, you really have to start watching like those foraging people Like that one lady on the TikTok, I don't know her name, but she does all the like the foraging. Like, yeah, that's what you should really learn to do. You got to learn to live off the land.
Yeah, you gotta learn to live off the land, which,
You do. I
you
couldn't
can't just go
survive.
to the grocery store anymore. Like, you have to.
No, and then you got to fight people when you get there. Like, I'm delicate, you know. I
See, I'm
I
not.
have children I have to protect, you know. So it's like it's you know, there's if there's a choice it has to be made. You're I'm sorry, like I choose life. Like I choose my like I'm gonna get like we're gonna fight for it. You know,
Yeah,
I'm delicate, but I will like if I have to.
yeah. No, I have no
But
problem.
I'd rather not, you know, I'd rather not. Like if we
I have
could
no
afford
problem
money,
elbowing
that'd be
people
cool.
out the way and fighting if need be.
I
In
I'd
in
rather
a
like kind of negotiate, yeah, a little bit.
yeah, yeah. But
Because I just don't like people.
there's that.
I
There's
like people, but I don't like people, you know?
yeah, for sure.
You know.
No.
People can be okay, but it's not like if I have I'm not really like
Yeah.
that's what I like about that's kind of what's so nice about like having internet friends that you build this bond without really ever having to like to be with them. You know, it's cool that you guys get to see each other once in a while, right?
Mhm.
It's great that we get to see each other, but I'm totally cool us not interacting like in person at all. Like I'm fine with that. You know, because we get along great right now. Like we're talking, we're getting on. Like we like, you know, like people interact on the. Is that's how gamers do? Like people think it's weird, but it's like it's because we just don't like people.
Yeah. No, I definitely had
Like
to.
peopling is hard. Adulting is hard. I hate like if I don't have to, like I would really rather not.
Yeah. Hey, Crayon, welcome in, welcome in. I appreciate you. We are enjoying a great conversation with the Queen of Indies herself, Legend of the Star. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Um, oh, so here on Gamer Corner, we like to do. Hey, Psycho, welcome in, welcome in. I appreciate you. Here at Gamer Corner, we like to do what is called Two Truths and a Lie. I'm sure you all have heard of that. Usually we do it right in the middle of the interview just so like everybody's kind of warmed up. You've gotten to kind of know Legend a little bit at this point in time. So, Two Truths and a Lie. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So everybody in chat, you guys can participate with me. Sometimes I listen to what the chat says is the lie. Sometimes I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's just how I am. Okay, so lay it on us.
Okay, so I've been streaming for 9 years. I'm obsessed with keyboards and time management games are my favorite to play. My favorite.
Okay, so what were they again?
I've been streaming on Twitch for 9 years. I'm oddly obsessed with keyboards. I love keyboards and time management games are my favorite indies to play.
Okay, okay.
My favorite indies to play.
So everybody in chat.
Adulting is hard. Adulting is awful, Karen. It really is.
Favorite game is time management games. Loves keyboards, obsessed with keyboards, and streaming on Twitch for 9 years. Hello, welcome in, Pizza. First of all, amazing that you got that name because I'm here for that. As a person who loves pizza, like, can we talk about how amazing that name is?
Dude, go play good pizza, great pizza. That would be awesome.
Right?
Right? For
We were
real.
just
like,
talking about that game, so for sure you have to play that game now. So
that game's amazing.
So welcome in. I appreciate you guys for being here. Definitely gonna drop a follow for you guys. I mean, we all love keyboards, right? So I'm gonna say, I feel like you don't care for time management games, right? Okay, right. So I'm gonna say because you said you were streaming on Twitch, on Xbox, on with the Kinect. So that adds some years, right? Right?
It does. I'm
that
a very old lady. I
listen,
really am. Like I'm mature.
listen. But we look
I
good,
don't look it.
girl. We look
Yo,
good.
right? Right. It's the genetics.
You know.
It's the
Um
it's the
so that's why I like when these little streamer boys slide in my DMs, I'm like, slide back out.
Yo,
I could be
right?
your
Like
teen
you can't
mother.
take the pressure. You
Like,
can't take this pressure. It's too
no.
much.
I'm like, my bank account is older than you. Like,
Yo, be like, no, sir. I would break you. Like you can try. It's not gonna work out.
thank you, Dallas. Welcome in. But yeah, slides into DMs. Great. Stop.
Right. No,
Listen,
thank you. I'm always like decline, decline. Like unless it's like and it's weird too being someone who identifies as, female in the gaming industry. Like I hear about all these women who I don't get as many like selfies as most women do. Not that I'm like advocating for them, but like I feel like it's really only sort of like the trashiest, like the really bored guys. Like they're just bored, and they're just looking kind of for that type of entertainment, I guess. So like for the shock value, but really like at my age, you've seen one, you really have like seen them all. Like they're not as unique as like you think it is, like
you
if
just
you're
hurting
like dressing up,
feelings, breaking hearts.
like it's oh, it's next to your sink. That's so original. Like, ooh, that's and it's
Psycho.
your
There's nothing wrong with being
yeah,
bald,
at
okay?
least get a pedicure or something, have some background.
That has some
Like I'm a
background.
content creator. Like Google, like do something, dress it up, make it fancy, impress me.
Gash, thank you. Welcome in, welcome in. Dropping the purple hearts. Moji, I appreciate you. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm bald. I'm a gangster. Run it. I can't. I can't.
Dude, yo, wild life is free life. Let me tell
Listen.
you.
Oh, could you imagine? But
Yo, I was ready and willing. I was like, if she has to do chemo, luckily she doesn't have to do chemo for this type of cancer unless it like metastasizes, and then we'll have to like do that next step. But I was like ready. I was like, girl, if you lose your hair, I'm doing it because she had cancer when she was little,
mm-hmm.
so she like lost all of her hair because of all like the chemo and the transplant and all that stuff. And I cut my hair like really, really short, like hella short, like way super pixie. But this time I was like, dude, if you have to, like that, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna shave all my hair. I'm gonna get just hair. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could go like Mr. Clean Bald because I think just my dome is oddly shaped.
I think
But
we
like
all
I
have
couldn't
oddly shaped heads. Psycho, do you have oddly shaped head? I think I feel like the back of my head is like weird.
Yo, back of the heads are really, really, and that's like the fluffiest part usually. But it always, I don't know, like I just don't want my head to look like a butt. Like, I'll have to like buzz it,
Yeah, like what if we have like
money,
the wrinkles and rolls and stuff? Like I don't know.
Nah, that Sharpay thing, like I don't want to,
Yeah,
like
I'm worried. I'm worried about the back of like my head.
Yeah, I don't want to frown and like have everything follow me too. Like no,
oh gosh,
it's weird.
Yeah, but Jill has super duper long, crazy, heavy hair. So, like, while she has it all up and pulled back, like, her hair would make an amazing wig.
It was. I had it. I didn't cut it. Like after like pandemic hit, I never cut my hair.
Yeah.
So my hair was like, wait, I was sitting on it. It was getting caught on my chair. Like I was getting headaches because I love a messy bun, and my buns were just so heavy because my hair is so
it was like
thick.
45 pounds. Like
I was
on top of
headaches.
your head.
I was like, yo, I have to. This has to stop. So, I finally, but it's long still because I haven't cut it since. It's like maybe shoulder length, but it's about the. I just don't like cutting my hair. I don't really like people touching my head. Which is weird because I want to try to do like protective styles because of just how I have to travel so much. It would just be easier for me to do that. But then it's like I'm not people touching my head. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to sit still. Like if you were to have,
I have to sit still for a very long time.
If
yeah,
you were just to have them braided, you would have to sit still.
Yeah, sit still. I would. I really, really would.
That takes a lot of training to like be able to sit still.
Yeah,
like it's a hard thing.
Oh yeah, it's hard. That's why I could never.
So as long as
I
none of us
could.
look like
I could check out.
Voldemort, yeah. If one of us look like Voldemort, we're good in terms of if we would have to go bold. But
Yo, really, just go do drag shows. Voldemort kills it at drag shows.
really,
Have you seen that one? Yeah, have you seen that one? That's like it's a really old like TikToker thing. Yeah, she's you like she just dresses as Voldemort and that's what she does. She just dances and shit and entertains. Yeah. People do that all the it's great. I love it. I love it because the makeup to look like him is so hard.
yeah, because like especially like the nose, hmm, the
Right?
nose
Not
or the
big nose.
no nose, really,
Then
right?
yeah, the no nose.
Oh my gosh, we're all over the place. So, wait, did you say what was your lie? Did we mess that up?
We did not. We did not. Do you want me to tell you what my lie is?
Okay, yes, I realized I don't know how we
It
got
is time
there.
management. I yeah, I don't
Okay,
I like resource management, time management. I don't like sometimes they're okay if it's basic stuff, but if I have to micromanage like when they go to the bathroom or like the Sims type stuff, I can't do that.
oh, okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
can't.
I can't do Sims micromanaging. It's hard for me.
Yeah, I can't
I
micromanage
can
them. Like
micromanage
they
my
need to be able to survive on their own. But like I like having the person there like surviving, but I also like designing the house. But like not to the level that some people do. Like I can stay
Right.
within the game without the mods. Like cuz I just
Right.
but like little customizations and things like that I'm good with. But yeah,
If
no.
it's like if it's simple stuff, but I don't really like that. Yeah, that's just too much. It depends on the type of game, really, and like sort of the storyline to it.
Mhm.
But for the most part, I really don't like that. Like, there's this one game I played, Startup Panic, where you're starting up kind of your own like indie game dev business, and I didn't like it. It was too much for me.
Yeah,
I
sometimes
didn't like it.
they go too deep into time
Yeah, I
management.
don't have to do like everything when they go to the bathroom, when they eat, when they do this. Like, I just want to like, okay, build up my resources, collect my stuff, do that kind of thing. Like, build this little house in this little area. But I don't like when it gets really, really,
Yeah,
really hardcore into it.
no, for sure, for sure. I can't even manage it in IRL now. I have to do it in video games.
I I can't. The only thing that I'm like really on top of lately is just sort of like um trying to organize like a resume for gaming because that stuff is hard, especially like in the indie industry because there isn't really sort of like a gateway to that really. So it's like I want to be able to do all this stuff like build a resume, like
Hmm.
collect all my skill sets that I've learned over the years and try to itemize that and build that into something. And then I'm a little bit on top. I'm on top of my content creation and my calendars and stuff and the St. Jude things. Like those are the only two things that I'm really on top of. Well, especially the Jude stuff because I don't have a choice. But um, I find cute ways to help me get organized because if I don't have something physical, I get really distracted and then I don't want to do it. Like it just becomes boring to me.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Um, Gaming resume. People in the chat, do you guys have a gamer, content creator, streamer resume? Do you understand the concept of it? A lot of people, I don't think they do. A lot of people don't take it serious. I
They
know
don't.
I am the founder of the BIPOC Streamer Awards, and it's very hard to even get people to have contact emails. So it's like if you want companies to work with you, but
Hmm.
they have no contact email, you have no, your DMs are turned off, your whispers and whatever other messaging ways that people can get to you are all turned off. How is somebody supposed to work with you? So,
Right.
and a lot of people
You
don't
have
even have their LinkedIn's. Some people don't even have
no.
LinkedIn's.
People don't have like what I like to keep things simple. I don't like to overwhelm myself with too much information. So I have the LinkedIn, which is great because it really sort of categorizes everything for you. Like just go to this one link and you have all these aspects of where you can find me, where you can follow me, and the type of content that I provide.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't even think about doing a media kit, which is sort of like the basic thing of what most content creators can have. And it's fairly easy information to find out. There's even a website called Media Kits that does it for you, which is really fun. It's a it like As far as a resume is concerned, should you have something that you would get make in a real-time job? Absolutely. But I don't think a lot of gamers realize that the skills that you have just gaming and managing your own stream, those are skill sets you can use in the real world. Like you don't have to define yourself just as a content creator, like
Exactly.
I kind of define myself as like a content creator and social media manager slash community, man. And there's things of that that I have to like probably expand on, but I condense it and make it as easy for me as possible. I use Canva. Why? Because I can schedule the tweets to go automatically to the Twitter. So I can set myself up for at least that month. And I try to do lately, I've tried to at least get a month ahead and just post random stuff, but keep it
Mm-hmm.
consistent. So like Mondays are this, Tuesdays are this, Wednesdays are this thing. And it gets really boring and repetitive, which is kind of crappy. And I think that's where sort of like the burnout can come in. But if
True.
you try to at least make it fun by using tools like Procreate or even Canva, which has a lot of free items that you can, but
Listen,
I
that
mean, they
free
do,
works.
you should pay for it. But if you want to get the extra stuff, but at least gives you the basic tools that you can use to maybe use other programs or reach out to other people and you can specifically know exactly what you're looking for and
Mm-hmm.
kind of at least get an idea of how that system works. And you can write that down, and that right there is a skill set. I post to the community and the engagement. I think is the hardest because then you feel like you have to talk to all these people, and that I think is really sort of like work life balance type stuff. But I think as long as you just sort of make it easy for you, like I only focus on Twitter and like for Athena, I only focus on Twitter and Facebook because those are where our largest communities are. I don't mess with Instagram. I don't like it. I don't know how. I don't do TikTok. I don't like it. I don't know how. I'm not gonna overwork myself to like addition all these platforms that
True.
I'm probably not gonna like spend enough time on to be consistent enough to be able to grow myself. And
Mm-hmm.
with I Dream of Indie, I focus on only the Twitter because that's where I get the most engagement and the community tab of your YouTube channel. If you have a YouTube channel, use your community tab. Have at least a basic Facebook if you can. If you don't want to do Facebook, I Dream of Indie doesn't have one, that's fine. LinkedIn's amazing. I don't really know how to use it, but it's kind of like Twitter for professionals. It's where you talk shit about people sometimes, but you do it eloquently, right? You use big words, and people are like, oh yeah, like I can, they get a sense of what you're sort of saying. It's like using Twitter, but it's like Twitter with
Yes.
grammar. It's like Twitter with like you have to, so it's like underlying, sort of like a little shady, but also informative at the same time because you want to bring them in, and
Mm-hmm.
then just sort of like have them at least have you in their connections and maybe they'll think of you at some time if you like post once and people like they don't use that and I think but there's one program that you can use that like can do everything for you. Like Facebook, you can go in your meta and you can schedule the stuff to go on like your other Facebook pages. And I don't think people realize that those are skill sets that you can use in real life to apply for gaming industry jobs like community management and social media. Because if you can do that for yourself, you can do that for other people.
Listen, tell it. Red, I
You know?
appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. But yes, especially if you wanted to go more into just being taken seriously in the content creation community,
Yeah,
take the time, build the resume. You'll be amazed at how many skills you have. Um,
absolutely.
like, get it, if you're,
Yeah, you're streaming in front of a camera. You've got people skills. If you can talk with nobody really in chat, and that's kind of how like as long as I've been streaming on, indies are like here's AAA games and indies are like right here. Indies are noticeable just enough because sometimes they get to be like a part of the AAA gaming industry and so people like oh that like strays in indie so sense of the forest those are indie games but because they have AAA graphics people don't really resonate or when the gamer award show puts them in a AAA category people don't realize but there are a lot of indie games that people don't realize are indie games they're just very well made like there's different types of them and so it's really important that especially for that gaming part like you take those skills that you've learned from like if you play a game that you've never played for the first time and you're
mhm.
giving like a first person review, you're giving constructive criticism, that right there is customer service skills. you
Yeah.
know, that's exactly what you're doing. If you're trying to sell a product, if you think that there's these sites where you can actually track your links. Some of them you have to pay for, others that you don't. That really involves some research. But if you track how many links, it's not just about bringing viewers to your channel. It's how engaged you can get those people to at least check out the game that you're playing. Or be like, yo, I heard, though this game may not be for me, I think it might be for someone else because I may not be pro gamer, but she played enough of it that I think I would either enjoy it or I know someone that who will. And that right there, that's marketing, right? You
Mm-hmm.
just sold a game. Like, that's marketing. And people don't realize that you can like utilize all that stuff. Like if you can handle chat and you can type in chat and do your gifts and switch scenes, that's management skills right there. That's being able to like multitask.
Yeah.
That's a tool that
Um,
you can use.
so, the question is, what does a gaming resume look like? Um, so, you know what,
a
Jill?
basic a basic resume, I think, for me, for content creation would at least be have a media kit. And a media kit is where you have like a headshot of yourself, you have your links that people can reach you on, and you have the numbers as far as like your yearly numbers, so quarterly numbers, and you can all find that in your settings of your dashboard, analytics. You really just have to check that. Twitter pays a lot of attention to the views. Twitch's analytics can be a little fickle, and I don't really know how like Kick or any of those other platforms work, but it's really just about making sure that you get the clicks, and that's sort of like it is keeping people there and keeping them entertained. But your analytics is really what sells you, because if you can at least get, you may not get a lot of views, but if you can get a lot of people clicking that link and you've driven this many people to their
Mm-hmm.
website, that right there is that right there is great. That's it. That's what you've done. Like that's your resume. So you just put in your little numbers. It just looks like a little postcard and it has your face and it does basic about me. It's literally just like your Twitch panel or whatever panels you use, just sort of alliterated in a way that's first look, first sell.
Exactly. But you know what? We could probably do a deep dive on this, like on a future stream. Like me and you sit down and really discuss how
It's
to.
oh yeah. I
Because
think
the
it's
thing
it
is,
is
like, it's a discussion that needs to be had. Like, so many people are moving
no one
towards
talks
being
about it.
full time um,
Yeah.
content
No one talks
creators
about
or
this stuff.
part
People
time.
Oh yeah. Or like if you're reaching out to a sponsorship, how much money should you say that you like eh, oh, you know what I really like doing? What I use often is I'm an indie focused micro influencer. Use those terms.
Mm-hmm.
Look up what a micro influencer, a nano influencer is. Like if you have a certain amount of followers and you're a nano influencer, that's still like thousands of followers more than like the person that's below you. So you can even market yourself as that. Like
Yeah.
or do like a live broadcaster. Streaming services most people think is like Netflix or like YouTube where you watch a show. So I always like it's all about your language too. Like I say live broadcasting because I'm not necessarily a show. I'm talking to you live, So I use that hashtag and
Yeah.
it's so easy, but people like the industry just gatekeeps all that stuff. It's so weird.
Yeah. So,
Like
you
I was
know what?
asking people like, how do I do my bots for my kick stream? And they're just like,
So, you know what? We're definitely going to do a deeper dive into that on a future stream. So, stay tuned for that. I'll probably pull in a couple more other people to discuss how to do it and the importance of it.
special skills player too. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a lot of skills. There's a lot of like community management, like everything like that. Like all those type of language and words should be utilized. Even if you don't have huge follower numbers, that doesn't mean you don't have a nice impact numbers. So just keep that in
Yeah.
mind, and we'll definitely discuss that more in the future because I can see us like really. It
Oh,
needs
go
to be.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I go on such rants. Like indie gaming industry people should totally look specifically for indie content creators to stream their games specifically, but they don't. They do triple A, which is weird because if you look in their VODs, it's probably like Fortnite or like some first person shooter, which is awesome and it's dandy, but how do you know that they're really gonna give you like adequate reviews and their audience isn't really going to want your game because that's not the type of like content that they usually absorb with that channel. So
Mm-hmm.
it's weird how like systems like that are just really it's really that's what makes it, I think, like so hard for like, BIPOC or you know, for the BIPOC space to really make a push forward is because everything's like just so gatekeepy and no one really likes to like reach out to those people. If you like there's so many BIPOC people that stream so many games that do creative streams just like you do, but they always look for like this certain look and they don't really dive deep into like maybe that person's like they don't really pay attention to that person's audience and they don't really pay
Mm-hmm.
attention um to the specificity that they have like their if they're consistent with your content, like but they overlook all those people, which is crazy to me. Like there's so many of us and we don't group up like we should. Like, you know, I think we could like so many BIPOC people could do so much more if we really group together. But it's still like high school. Like we still kind of all have our little cliques, and we're not really
Yeah.
open to a lot of stuff. But it's just interesting. It's gotten better the last year, I'd have to say, especially with like the Black Gamer Awards and your award show that you have that really starting to finalize and put focus out there, which was amazing.
Thank
Such a smart
you.
idea. It was such a smart idea. Like, why didn't anyone else think of it before? Like, it was like,
Yeah, I
and
think
that was during the time where everyone was like, let's do this and let's push this. And, I don't like what Twitch is doing. Well, then make up your own award show. And
just
that's
do
exactly
it.
what you did.
Like, but I totally understand. I think there was a couple other people who were trying to start stuff as well. It is a lot.
It's a
It's
lot.
a
You have
lot.
to, if you
But
have
it
people that are willing to help you, like, do it. Like, ask
just
for
do
help.
it.
Like, don't take on, if you, like, don't take on the burden. I think that's what we do too. I think it's just sort of innate in us as, anyone who maybe identifies as feminine is you just want to be able to take care of everything because that's just how, and I think it has a lot to do with your environment too, just how
Mm-hmm.
sort of like circumstances are. But you want to be able to take everything on your shoulders. But if you don't ask people to help you out, like how well is your plan really going to move? You
Exactly.
know, how well is it really gonna push? And if you have if you have people that you're close with, then you can separate like the friendship and the business stuff because that's really important. Like, don't always like go into business with your friends. That's a whole nother thing in content creation too. It's really important to once you're able to differentiate that, then you can work as a team and
Yes.
really push something amazing forward that a lot of people are really wanting to like strive for.
Mm-hmm. Jay Spazin, thank you so much for being here. Yes, the VOD will be available. Also, will be on the Fangirl Review
I
YouTube
fucking bet.
channel. The Gamer Corner has a playlist. So we are 23. This is 23rd episode. So if you missed the 22 before that, they're all in one nice, neat space. We. So we have a lot of different content creators of various sizes in the Gamer Corner. Because I like to I basically
I
just.
think it's important. Your show is amazing. I love
Thank
your
you.
podcast. I think everyone should like watch past episodes and this is a great way for you to meet new creators and see new perspectives and
Yes,
find a little bit more about like different parts of the industry that you didn't know that existed.
exactly. You learn so much, and you get
Mhm.
um, great perspectives from people starting out, people who have been in the game for a minute. Like you learn a lot. You learn a lot. So, if you could design your own game, which apparently won't be time management, what would it look like?
What would it look like? That's a good question. I really like character progressive stories with multiple endings. Love those games. So I would probably do
Ooh.
something like that had sort of like a deck building apps like part to it. I think I would do something like that. Like a
Oh.
narrative story about just like camaraderie and friendships, but then
Mm-hmm.
have like cards that you could pull out to maybe answer questions about that person and deep dive more into like the situation and
Okay.
have it be always progressive with like different endings and stuff and always like a false one. I've been really into that lately. I don't know why. And it's one of those things where like you kind of want to be like that person that does like the mean, the mean towards you're just like what? I just want to be, but like it's interesting how those games because I've played a lot and I think like those type of games, especially the character progressive story, because it gives you a different perspective and how maybe you might be able to approach a
Yeah.
certain situation And it really opens your eyes and insight to maybe other people with their struggles that you may recognize in someone else. And so I think it's nice to be able to have those different choices that you can make and see what possible outcomes, because there's so many times in our own lives we're just like, damn, like what if, like alternate universe, what would have happened?
Yes. Yeah, you know what? I realized I always pick like the nicer responses. I don't usually pick like the mean responses. And I played the game Virtue slash Reward. Um, yeah, my brother got it for me because it's like an escape game. You have to like figure out, like there's a murder mystery. You have to figure things out. You've been kidnapped. You have to get out. There's a whole bunch of other like AI characters that
Really?
you're playing with,
That sounds creepy.
and so it's like the one. So you're like you have to, you go into a room and then you both the teams vote, and the whole thing is like you have like this little like Apple Watch type thing on there, and if you have to get your number to a
Really?
certain number before you can get out of the escape the place. But if the door only opens once, so you vote, I vote yes, you might vote no. I might lose points, you might gain points. And it's like you're playing with the computer. Of course, the computer cheats. And he
Yo,
lied to
all the
me.
time.
He told me that he was going to vote no, and I was going to vote no. And then we would be okay. But he didn't. He voted yes, got the
He
number of
lied.
points,
Mm-mm-mm.
and then left. And all the rest of us, like 10 of us in the room, all died. When I told
Did you
you,
really?
I was so
That
mad. I quit that
I
game. I haven't played it since. It was like 3DS game. I was so into
really.
it. I was like, oh my gosh, like what happened? How did that person die? I'm going from room to room, figuring things out. We're voting.
And then it just left you and abandoned you, didn't it? In your time of need. That is awful.
And then like the game ends, and then you wake up again. You're back in. You're started all over again. So you can make different.
Oh, and it's a roguelite too.
So you can
No.
make different decisions now. You can pair up with different people. Who can you trust? Who can't you trust? Are they going to screw you over? And then, so I don't even know how many endings there are, but it just made me so mad. I did re-download it onto Steam.
I love
I was like,
that.
I'm
You
going to try
should.
it again. But, oh, it just stuck in me because I was nice. And I put the nice options, and the computer
And it
killed
didn't
me.
even, yeah. It didn't even do anything for you in the end. There's this one game, I'm trying to look through it. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a narrative story, kind of like a visual novel, like the character progressive. And depending on the choices that you make, your character actually changes the way that she looks.
Oh.
So you can change her entire personality, her entire look. Her hair will be different, her outfit, like everything, depending on like the choices that you make. It's really crazy. And I
Um,
played it a couple of times, and there's always like I like the one ending. I accidentally ended up like killing her, which is like my bad. But I was like, yeah, she had an affair with her man. Like she chose the rich guy instead. I went all like romance novel on it. She had like this luscious blonde, like flowy hair, and would wear like these tight. I was like, dang girl. And then there's this one storyline I haven't gotten to it, but I've seen the images of it where she's got like short red hair and it's like a bob, and I'm like, that's intriguing. But
Hi, Deody. Welcome in, welcome in. Definitely, if y'all are into Fallout 76, definitely check out D to the. He's amazing, amazing streamer right there. With us tonight, we have Legend of the Star, the Queen of Indies. As you see, we will constantly talk about different indie games, so I highly recommend that you guys watch this VOD back and sit down and write down all the different games that she has discussed, because we definitely mentioned at least 20 to 25 games already. So like definitely watch it back and write down the games, because there's so many different fun indie games that have been mentioned that I definitely want you guys to
oh,
check out.
yeah, Mini Flat Eye is a really good one. That's kind of like a point and click, and that deals with like real world environments. And then I like, what game did Karen? What's that game that I played? Godlike Burger, where you're like this dude who's
I
making
just
burgers. Yes,
I just
and you're
downloaded it because
murdering.
I was saved it and I was waiting because again, like I told you, I'm into like um cooking esque games, and it was like, oh, I get to use the people in my burger, sure. But like
Yo.
it went on sale to like $5.99. I think it's like $5.99 right now. So definitely go try that game. But I also downloaded about like 2 to 3 games, practically almost every other day the past 2 weeks. So like I don't have the time because I'm like I'm already trying to play this game. I'm trying to play that game. Then I watch something on YouTube. I'm like, oh, I need that game too. And then somebody else was
Mhm.
like, you need to get this game. I just bought another game today. So it's kind of gotten out of control. And I need somebody to take all my
You need
credit
that
cards,
pullback?
and my
Yeah, that would not
PayPal
be
needs to be disconnected from everything.
Yo,
So
PayPal is screwed. I don't have PayPal connected to my Steam.
I
I
do,
can't.
I do, and it's so bad. I
I
do,
can't.
I do. It's like, oh my gosh, what
It's
am I doing with
awful.
my life?
It's I love that game. It is so much fun. It's like time management aren't too bad isn't too bad if it's we have to like get their orders ready. It's crazy. And then you gotta kill them, and then you're covered in blood. And like you gotta try to like and then you have all these it's fun. I like that. I think I have up to the Halloween skin, but I haven't really tried any other planets yet.
Okay, yeah, I
I have
just
like the one level that I do, but it's so much fun. I recommend it definitely with controllers though than keyboard mouse. Keyboard mouse is a little weird.
okay.
Controller's so much easy with mechanics.
Yeah, I know. My Xbox controller just stays like right here, like right next to the computer. It's not even near
Hmm.
the Xbox anymore. It's like here's the controller.
Yeah, when my teenager lets me have mine, it's usually on my shelf over there if he's not using it.
Yeah. Um. So, what are your thoughts on the game industry currently, and where do you see it 10 years from now? Where do you see it going?
That's a good question. You know what? I like the gaming industry. I really do.
Yes.
I just wish there was I wish people were just did their time and did their research when it comes to um I would have to say like the industry as a whole. Like if you have to be kind of like a particular type of person to be able to get into sort of the scene depending on where you want to do it. And I think people limit themselves too much to just streaming
Mm-hmm.
instead of everything else that the gaming industry happens to provide. I wish that indie games were sort of like this standalone um section of it that's kind of hidden. And the voice and visibility in indie games is just so important to me. I don't understand why people just don't advocate it more. Like I don't understand why like Twitch doesn't have like an indie game category. They just have games and demos. Like just rename it. And um indies are going to surpass I would definitely say in the next 10 years the indie games. The last year has been fantastic. Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people play indie games they don't even really know. Like Fallout Guys, that's an indie. Among Us, that's an indie game. Stray's an indie game. I think Eden is an indie game. There are thousands of games out there
Mm-hmm.
that because the publishing company is more recognized, like Sandbox Strat or Devolver Digital, people don't recognize that it's an indie, which is crazy to me. So people are already sort of boosting us up, and the way that the games have been coming out, I think the last 2 years alone have been really well made, really thought out, and they're getting a lot more recognition, especially on Xbox Game Pass. Like if you really want to play an indie, they don't have a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
If you have the Epic Store, you can do itch.io. Those indie games are free, for the most part, or you're spending whatever much that you want to spend on a game. It could be $1, it could be $2,
Mm-hmm.
but the money goes directly to the developer. So you're supporting developers that way. Because the only reason a lot of these games don't get a lot of recognition is simply because of like their marketing budget. And so they have to reach out to content creators. So never say no to a free game. Even if you may not like the way that it looks aesthetically, it's still a free game that you can play that you didn't have to pay for. And in turn, you're helping to promote and market like this new genre or whatever this person's trying to develop. So it can be a
Exactly.
really sort of give and take sort of situation when you first start. Like don't blind yourself and play every because I've said no to free games because I just knew that they were just dumb and I wasn't going to have fun playing it. And it wasn't really going to be my bag. And so then I would recommend someone else that they could reach out to, or I would let that person know, hey, there's this game, you should reach out to this. I was like, don't be pushy if you're going to reach out to them. Try to like showcase enough of your content to where devs can reach out to you, which is again where like the media kit and stuff does come in.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel like the indie game industry, well, no, it's like not even indie game industry. Like I just think it's just the industry is gonna do so well, especially because the games have been so well thought out the last couple years, and has won awards that nobody knew. The Game Awards even had their own indie category. Kenya Bridge of Spirits that won a crap ton of awards last year.
Mm-hmm.
It Takes Two. That's an indie game. Like,
That was a great
a lot of
game.
people fabulous. So good. And the way that Zeldin cosplayed as the mom was just fantastic.
Absolutely
That was like one of
adorable.
the best cosplays that
Yes.
I've ever seen her like ever do. And she's really good at cosplaying, just like Amani and her and Layla. They're all really good at that shit.
Oh, sorry. Little
But yeah.
Chaos Gaming,
No, Little Chaos Gaming and then
Angelic
Angelic
Layla,
Layla. I'm sorry.
Zelda,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Fairies. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Zelda and Fairies. Yeah, that's who we're referencing. But yeah, they have like her like that game was an indie. Like people don't even know that you don't know you're playing an indie game, Brad. It's an indie game.
Yes.
For indie game, the game show awards have their own indie category, but the indie games that won weren't even in the category. Like, make that make sense?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Don't
that's
apply
yeah. I really
logic.
see indies making it. Yeah, and a lot of the genres are coming up. Roguelikes are getting more popular. Visual novels are having more of a narrative like twist to it, more action adventure. So you are getting sort of like the beautiful sort of book type pop up tales, but they're more interactive where they blink and stuff, where they'll voice act their own things. And so I really feel like it's growing to a point to where in the next few years I think games are gonna be fabulous.
Yeah. What?
I'm excited for it, I really am.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going. Um.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the hardest question of the night. What is your favorite game of all time? It could be a tabletop. It could be a card game. It could be a console game, PC game, whatever.
That's
Board
hard.
games. Favorite game of all time. Now, you can also, it's hard, so sometimes you do like three or four. That's fine. But, favorite game
I
of all time.
I would honestly say, okay. Hmm. I'm gonna say Armello. Yeah, I think Karen and them know I'm gonna say Armello. Armello is such a beautiful indie game. It is a tabletop
Okay.
like game with like card deck, um, like deck building abilities. The graphics are absolutely impeccable. There's a rabbit clan. Basically, what it is that you're in the land of Armello, and the king has become infected with dark magic, which is called the Rot. And so the clans have decided to come together to either heal the king, kill the king, take over the throne, basically. But they're all like, there's a rabbit clan, there's a bear clan, there's like a clan full of like reptiles, and then there's like this bandit clan, which is like this misfit. The characters are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's dice, which is awesome. So it has sort of like that RNG aspect of it. I'm an avid collector of the dice because the dice there is so beautiful. They are coming out with the new game, so they haven't really spent. League of Geeks is the publisher and the developer, and so they haven't really spent a lot of time to it. But there's so much lore into that game that there's actual like novella books
Mm-hmm.
of each of the clans that tells you the backstory of that character, as well as like two book series, I think, and this is all digital just within the game itself, that explains to you how the king became king and why he's sort of like fallen into this dark magic. 'Cause he believes he can save Armello and unite the clans, but he's going about it the wrong way. So you can either collect rot and become evil yourself
Okay.
and hurt the king that way, or if the king just suddenly dies because each role that you have or each day that progresses, and they have like winter seasons and spring and like little snowflakes that come by, and when a town gets overrun, you hear the little screams of like little people in the houses going ah and like and like and then like the smoke will happen, and you move across the board, and each character has its own like specific like King likes to play River, which is part of the Wolf Clan, and she does like the bow and arrow. I have different characters. I have this thing where I'm trying to get all the characters up to level 10, and I'm trying to like raise their aspects and certain stuff and get specific dice. There's a lot of achievements to it, but that I have over 900 hours in that game.
Wow.
That's the
That's
highest.
saying
That's
something.
I played it for years. I have so much dice. There's still dice that I'm missing, which really sucks because you can only get it in certain events, and so I replay it during Halloween to try to get certain dice.
Mm-hmm.
Like Stranger Dice is what I'm missing, and a few other stuff. But that's one of the games that I really like to play with friends. You can play solo, and a lot of people don't really play it anymore. But it's nice because when you play with other people, it doesn't have voice chat. It's just like little comments of what like the characters might say. So you don't really get to talk to anyone. It's not whatever. And there's so many people from different countries that play it because I believe the developer is based out of Australia, so they've got that,
Okay, yeah.
that type of time zone. So late at night, I'll usually get a lot of people from like Eastern European countries and play with them, and it's nice to be able to just like relax. King plays it, Karen's played it with me. Yeah, the dice is amazing, but I just love the story to it. And it has like you can even look up Armello on the YouTube and it has like these cinematic cutscenes that they have. It's really pretty. I really like it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no. I guess everybody in the chat, we guess we gotta check that one out because I wasn't aware of it.
It's
But I'm also
it's crazy, like, because people like put like they think, oh, it's a deck builder, so it's this type of way. It's a roguelite or roguelike, which are two different things, by the way. That's gonna be a certain but if you judge a genre, you're missing out on so many games that are really
true.
that just have that one aspect of it, but then it has all these little bits and pieces that make the game just really cohesive. And so when you judge a genre, you're really limiting yourself with the type of games that you're playing, and you're gatekeeping yourself from that.
True. No, it's very true. And I'm always gonna look for games that have fishing in it. Does it have fishing? Can I fish?
No, you can't fish in that game, but there is. What game did I played recently that you can fish?
I'm all about a fishing game. Pinball
I
and
can't
fishing.
think of it.
Those are
Have
my
you?
games.
No,
Pinball and
I
fishing.
pinball and fishing. Have you? I like fishing. I like fishing in Sons of the Forest because you can just take like the sea, just in the water, and they'll just come swimming up to you, and then you can make like your little like fish sing and catches up. Yeah, I like that type of fishing. That's fun.
Yeah. I just
Have you? So you must fish a lot in Stardew Valley then.
I I have
Final
Stardew Valley.
Fantasy? Do you play Final Fantasy?
I haven't played Stardew Valley that long. Their fishing mechanic is just kind of like okay.
Yeah.
Um, I like the fishing in Final Fantasy 15. That was a lot of
Oh,
fun.
do you? Yeah.
Um, the fishing in Core Keeper is pretty decent once I got the hang of it. But I just got to play Stardew Valley a little bit more. But yeah, as long as there's a fishing game, like I also that's another type of game that I'm always gonna have on all systems is a fishing
Really?
game. So I do have Fishing Simulator 1 and 2 on PC.
I was like, a bet. I was
So
like,
I have pinball games and fishing games. Like those are always. I grew up fishing in real life, so that's why I like
I love
fishing.
fishing. I used to live in San Diego when I was younger, and we'd like go to the Ocean Beach Pier and we would just fish there.
Fishing off a
I love
pier.
fishing. It's a lot of fun.
Listen,
Yeah.
yes, best modern
So
game to fish in.
I didn't know you knew like you like fishing games. I'm gonna have to look for fishing games for
Yes,
you.
yes, I'm here for it. Like I just started playing the again. That was a cooking game and time and blah blah blah. It's the Sushi Brothers, and so you have to like go catch a
Really?
little fish, chop it up, make it into sushi, and
That's cool.
then serve it.
That's cool. That's cool.
So I'm like, oh, let me grab it, cook the rice, serve it. Like,
That's awesome. I like that. So then you're gonna get that new cooking game that just right didn't like the cookout
which
cooking
one?
game just come out. Cooking All Stars. What is it? Neffy was talking about it. I'm gonna have to DM it to you. But yeah, that cooking game. You can it's like cross platform now, and you can play it with like certain people or
Yeah,
everyone.
but yeah, let me know which one because like I definitely
I will. I'll have to ask Neffy.
exactly stream the table. That is exactly what Sushi Brother is. So like I was like, oh, I can catch the fish. Now it gets kind of crazy. You're catching the fish, you're making the rice and the soy sauce and like everything, but
That's awesome. It's
I
like
haven't even
Cooking
gotten
Mama.
that far. I haven't even gotten that far in it. I'm like, whew, this is gonna get stressful.
Really? There's recipes. Is there recipes? I don't know. We haven't gotten that far into the forest. You and I have to play though.
Yeah,
You,
we
me,
do.
Jenny, all have to get together and we have to play. Um, is there recipes? I think there's recipes that you can learn actually on drying fish on the drying rack takes.
Ever. It's like
Drying meat is awful. I was like, dude, is it done
they've
yet?
improved some things, and they've made some things a lot harder in that game. So
A
it's like,
lot harder. Have
um,
you tried sledding yet? Sledding is so hard. And
I
then there's like this
haven't.
one unicycle thing. Like,
Um,
yo, there's some things in there that are. But I saw you did the 3D printers though with the arrows.
yes. Welcome in, Debbie. Thank you so much for the raid. I
Hi, Daddy.
appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome in. You were playing Fortnite and Fall Guys, and I know you were part of the Yo Speak Lit Community Day. A lot of times I can't play with you guys because it's during the day and I gotta do the 9 to 5 stuff. Um, I know.
Responsibilities. Hey, dude.
Responsibilities. Gotta pay to be able to keep myself in the lifestyle of buying a video game every other day.
For my PayPal to continue to be linked to Steam.
Yes. Otherwise, I'll start having issues. You know, like I keep buying. Yeah, I need to keep myself in a lifestyle in which I never actually check my bank account, and I just keep buying games, and I know I'm fine because I know there's enough money in there.
With that sweet life.
So
I
like,
it.
I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Buy the game. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, whatever. So thank you, welcome in everybody from the toxic community that is Debbie Snacks.
I love it.
Yes. So yes, we are sitting down with Legend of the Star, the Queen of Indies. We've discussed so many fun indie games, and I really did enjoy it when Sons of the Forest, when it dropped and it broke Steam for the day. That was amazing. Like,
Really?
it broke, like, the whole system. It was down because so many people were trying to buy it. We broke it, and I was like, yes, that's exactly what we want to see and show up and show out for an indie game. Like, the first game came out like, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago, like so long ago, and then for the sequel to finally drop only in early access, and
Right?
for us to break Steam. And it was just like, you're not checking out. Like, I had to stop. Like, I had to give up in checking out. I was like, I'll be back. I came back, like, I think 5 hours later. It still was acting up. It was still acting up. But I was able to get in after a while, buy it. My other friend Kwanzaa could not even get it. She was like, it's just not working for me. I was like, let me try again. Oh, no, and I was able to buy it for her. I was like, there, I sent it to you. You got it.
You got it now.
You got it now.
Rolling now.
But it was like drama trying to get it. So definitely just
That's
like
crazy.
24 hours for it to like really settle again. But I was like, yes, break it. Show them.
That's about time. It really is.
Okay, so as we start to wrap up, what would you say to someone who's first starting out their streamer content creating journey?
Honestly, I would just tell them to relax. Like, why are you putting so much stress on yourself to people that, I don't know, to the internet? I don't know. Maybe it's just because of my age, but I think people, like, they focus too much on my numbers and how many days should I stream and how long should I stream for. And it's really just like, stream on a time that suits you best, that's not going to impact the rest of your daily life. Stream for as far as like timetable, as long as you want. Sometimes I stream for an hour, sometimes 2, sometimes like 12. Like, and that's just because I lose track of time, or sometimes it's really hard to stop in a game depending on what you're playing. You just want to continue on and figure out what's going on with the story.
True.
Like, people are gonna come to your stream. You have to market yourself to be able for that's like a whole nother thing, but I just wish that people would relax. Like, if you don't want to put on makeup, don't do it. You know, if you just want to be yourself, just don't put so much pressure on yourself to perform when it's something that really is that you don't really know is going to turn out to be a viable career. You know, you're setting yourself up for failure that way, because if that's how you treat streaming, it makes me wonder how many missed opportunities you've had to sort of real life situations. Like, people hyper focus too much on viewer count, on whether my alerts are working, or damn, I've been on this screen for like this one time, like or the crucial one is the one that I do a lot, is that I mute myself, right? And I forget to mute, and then like you're just talking or whatever, and no one has told you that you're muted, but see, that's why I use captions. Because if you cannot hear me, you can read what it is that I'm saying to
There you
you.
go.
And so it's like these little tricks of the trade that you have to learn and ask questions. Like, no one asks any questions to anyone anymore. And if they don't answer you, ask someone else. Like someone will eventually get to you. And if you're on Twitter and you're posting something, someone's gonna see it. And if they don't, then find someone who will. Like don't limit yourself and don't put so much pressure on yourself.
Yeah,
It's crazy weird.
yeah. Definitely don't pressure yourself. Don't stress yourself. You don't have to have the newest,
Mm-mm.
greatest thing. Like, listen.
No, you don't have to have the best equipment. You don't have to be on everything TikTok, Facebook, Shorts, this and that. Like a lot of it's copy paste too. Like I don't think people utilize like whatever you post on TikTok. You can just
Post
post a
across the
TikTok
board.
class because it'll have that watermark. But like you can at least do your shorts or whatever. You utilize other aspects, other platforms to get your content out there, but don't spread yourself thin because then you're burn out really quickly and
Mm-hmm.
you'll feel guilty for yourself. Like you'll feel bad. You'll make yourself feel awful. And why would you do that? Crazy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Once I learned to relax and not pay attention and just have fun and just do what I want to do and still be respectful of the fact that this is a business. And if I would like to make income from this, then you do have to sort of approach it in a certain way. You can't have too much of a loud obnoxious. Once you get to a certain, billing point, then yeah, do whatever you want on your stream. Once you get there, that's fine. But before then, like don't dot your I's and cross your T's, but at least have some type of respect for what this is, which is a business. And remember to always kind of carry yourself that way because the internet lasts forever. Like you see all those drama channels and like Twitter stuff, people pull back shit from like years ago that you did,
Yeah, they
you
do.
know? So if you can't say it online, don't say it at all. Just don't say it. Keep it to yourself and use captions, web captioner, because then if you forget to mute, people read, because then they'll get tired of reading and then they'll be like, well, you're muted. So,
Okay, you're muted. I know, like I'll come in, I'll be like, "No mic?" Question mark. And they're like, "Oh wait, no." I was like, "Because there are no mic
yeah.
streams. That's fine." I
Yeah.
just
And
asked the
you
question.
already know that people aren't going to say anything to you anyway. Like if your lighting is off, it's whatever. Like rewatch your VODs and, learn from yourself. That's always a good tool too. But yeah, like if you can find a shortcut, do a shortcut. Don't heavy yourself on this load that really isn't all that worth it. It's cool once you make it,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to be aware of what you're doing prior to.
Exactly. Like just be aware, be ready. No,
Mhm.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so we are now wrapping up. Final question of the night. What are your thoughts on the content creation streaming space currently? Where do you see us going?
Um that is crazy. I wish games were more games. You know what I mean? Like, I wish just chatting was just more just chatting than reactionary stuff. I wish people would just kind of stay in their lane. I think that's what's really important because when you start to bleed over too many aspects of like all you play games plus you like that's just too much for your mental health. I think that's way overwhelming for other people to want to consume,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not going to watch it, like who do you expect to watch your content too? So I think my takeaway is I think that though being authentic is really important in the content creation industry, I think it's really good to be able to experiment with different stuff and pay attention to trends.
Yes.
A lot of us do and we don't, but at least be mindful of them. I think cosplaying is great. I think more Black voices are being heard. I think more, it's still not enough to break through like the cusp. I think if you're really going to advocate for something in a positive way, do it hard,
Mm-hmm.
and reach out to those that are like you. Like if I'm Asian, reach out to more Asian women, or if if you identify as BIPOC, if you're everything, then go to a BIPOC community and reach out to them and navigate and network and don't let sort of don't let your skin color or your gender identify you as who you are as a content creator. Just breathe and be simple. And I think I cosplaying is doing fantastic for Black voices. I think small indie game devs, especially East Asian devs and African American companies, are really starting to make peak because they're realizing that, oh shit, they make better games than like the other folks do. um because I feel like they have more of a story to tell,
Hmm.
more of a perspective to give when they are designing their games. Like, you may be playing an action adventure game, but you're also learning something about like that person's culture or how they define themselves, or aspects of how they may feel in certain situations that does have to deal with like race and like misogyny and things. And so I feel like we're headed in a positive direction. But I feel like if more of us in the BIPOC community collaborated more often, then it wouldn't be so one-sided in these certain sort of like cliques, and
Hmm.
we would have more of a step stool to really climb, like at least reach up towards the ladder and be like, yo, guys, like there are other things to the industry than just this one, like your Pokemans and your Kais and there's these other people that are putting in the work, that are doing fantastic in their respective platforms or in
Yes,
their respective genres, and just advocate voices. Like, don't gatekeep yourself from not reaching out to other people. And
exactly.
it's getting there. We're close. Because we float in the same circles. Like, we have a lot of like mutuals or mutuals that know like of each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have like the same friend group, but we have at least the same mutuals. And so, you and I can both see that it's starting to really sort of rise,
It
and
is.
we're starting to kind of like work together. Like, it's taken some time, but we're getting
We're
there, and
getting
that
there.
that's a really good thing. Yeah.
Exactly. We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep moving. So, any additional thoughts and comments? We're now at the end of the interview.
Play indie games. Go to itch.io, that free indie games. You can go through the Epic Store. Xbox has Game Pass. I think PlayStation even has like, I don't really know a lot about PlayStation, but I think they have their own subscription service where you can play indie games there. Like, your resources to indie games isn't just Steam. There's mobile games too. So, look everywhere. Don't just don't like, they're not just on PC games. They're on consoles too.
Yeah, they are.
Play indie games.
Nintendo has a lot of like random indies. They just had their indie showcase today.
Today, yeah, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Yeah,
Yeah, I totally.
we
I was.
covered it. Yeah, we covered it on IGN Infinity. Rose did the live broadcasting for it. So I stream 3 times a week on, or like 2 to 3 times a week on IGN Infinity, which is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my own channel on Twitch, which I haven't streamed in for a while, but I am gonna go back on it now that I'm able to sort of like spend more me time on my content. And then of course I'm gonna try Kick too, because I just want to be able to give voice and visibility to indie games. So it's really not about sort of like, though I would love to be famous because I'm awesome at indie games and like what I do and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be able to have a place where I can showcase indie games. And so, you guys can find me on Kick. It's Legend of the Star. She's got the link in the chat or whatever. And I'm super easy to find. I don't do too much Instagram stuff. That's really just all about my St. Jude um, and gaming. I'm going to hopefully work more with St. Jude Play Live. So I'm super excited about that, and kind of bringing more awareness towards like teenagers and young adults that are there at St. Jude as well, not just the little children,
Mm-hmm.
which are adorable. Their little bobbed heads. So adorable.
Oh my gosh.
I love St. Jude because we all kind of have like our own little uniforms, and like we're all kind of going through the same thing. So you can just look at someone and you just and you're just like, oh, I got you. I feel you. Like, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So it's really, and it's one place where everyone wears a mask, which is nice. But yeah, so I mean, really wanting to bring awareness because St. Jude doesn't know about St. Jude Play Live. St.
Oh.
Jude doesn't even know about St. Jude Play Live, which is crazy to me. Like, a lot of the nursing staff and like the doctors, they've never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, really? But you guys are on the same campus.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not, if people don't know that, it's not just donors from outside sources, but it's gamers, the gaming community that raises a lot of money for St. Jude. So I really want to, I think my goal right now this year is to bring a lot more focus towards that, and to put more of a personal aspect to what it's like to be a parent of a patient at St. Jude, you know, because the commercials only give you so much information,
Mm-hmm.
and behind the scenes it's just, it's so different. It's good, it's still positive, but it's still, it's not always what you see on you know, on the commercials. It's teenagers too, it's young adults
Yeah.
that are there as well, and it's really important to make sure that everyone, no matter what the age, gets like the resources and the care that they need and stuff. So it's crazy, like the short it's crazy. St. Jude has its own little app you can follow
Ooh.
about that, more of that perspective, because no one really sort of sees that side of things. So
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you for sharing about that. Sleeper Hit, welcome in. I appreciate you for being here. Welcome to the classroom. Yo, SB, what's good? I appreciate you for being here.
is that a
Family right
scary
there. Right? The Undecember. If that sounds like a scary game.
it sounds like a scary game,
It
doesn't
sounds like
it?
a
I'm
game
like,
I have no interest. It sounds like an indie scary game. It sounds like no. Sounds like no thank you. Um okay, so we're at the end of
oh, I see. Hackintosh multiplayer RPG. It's got mixed reviews. Oh, I see. It's not too bad.
okay. Um so we're at the end of the interview. Thank you, Legend, for being here. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
you.
having me. I'm sorry I talk. I go like, you guys have
No.
to be careful. Don't ask me about indie games. I'll pop up.
But no, but that's the
I mean,
great. So
ask
that's
me about indie games. Ask me about it. But I'm very opinionated on this subject, and sometimes I can go
no, that's what we
on
want to
um
hear.
on crazy tactics. But if you want like in like honest reviews or an honest critique about an indie game, especially when it comes to like, I don't just do the stories, but I also showcase like game mechanics and accessibility and things. Like I try to, like most content creators, try to do like the round pit of all. But
Yeah.
yeah, indie games, definitely check them out. There's so many ways that you can get them for free, and they're a lot better than AAA games. I'm gonna be honest with you, and affordable too. Like the what was Sons of the Forest? Like what was that? Like maybe $30?
Yeah.
30,
29
$60?
99.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's like the most. If it's $60, they're giving you other things too, like the DLCs and like the
Yeah, it's
art
a whole
book, and maybe even
package.
like a stuffy, a t-shirt with a hoodie or a cup or something. Like, yeah, if you're spending $60 on an indie game, you're getting like a gift set with it. So play your indie games.
Yes.
But
So,
thank you for having me. It was fun.
no, thank you, thank you. I know we were all over the place. We definitely went off the rails. That's what happens when you're interviewing a friend. So, deal with it. But definitely check out the VOD, everybody. Check out it'll be on YouTube. I'll probably premiere it for Saturday morning, like I usually do for the Gamer Corners. Um, Jill dropped a lot of gems, definitely a lot of fun games for us all to check out. Yeah. So, as always, the guest guides the raid. I'll be sending over a host to think all that Jazz is trying to do her verification push on Kick, so I'm gonna do that over there. But on Twitch, who would you like us to raid out to? Somebody new that we can learn about, or whatever.
Oh, I know. Do you know Christy? You know Christy as a Blasian, right?
Mm,
He does like reactionary content. Here, I'll send you the link in the DM. She's amazing. She's
just
BIPOC, and
okay.
she's an absolutely
Spell the name.
adorable person.
If you could just spell it real
Here,
quick.
I will. Oh, hold on. Where'd I go?
I don't know.
I got you. Hold on. I closed out. I got you. I got this. I have lots of tabs up, but it's okay. We'll
That's
have this.
okay.
We'll
I
have this.
have thousands of tabs. I actually have to close all of them because I don't realize how much Chrome takes up. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Right.
this is
There
Chrome
she
will
goes.
be
There's your
like,
link. I DM'd it to you.
okay. Because Chrome will take up
Christia.
85% of. So let me, Christia the Blasian. Okay, there we go. So let me hit that raid. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate you. Make sure you follow Legend of the Star on all platforms. Amazing content creator. And we will have,
Oh, thank you.
yes, and we'll have a future discussion about gaming resumes. So stay tuned
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that.
And then I'll make a list so I'll be more like itemized. I'll put it in my book.
Yes. So everybody enjoy the rest of your night, and until we meet again. Bye. Braid out. Braid out. That went. That went.